Dates up Facebook, Instagram, YouTube land, all of my followers and subscribers on there. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. I'm coming to you live today because I've been on a lot of coaching calls recently, and there's been a single topic that continuously comes up. And that topic has to do with face-to-face, belly-to-belly, first-time appointments with buyers and sellers. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of that, share the knowledge out there and talk about why you want to be tracking this number. So the number is obviously, and I said it before, first time face-to-face appointments. So in my business, I've got leads coming from all different sources, right? I've got leads from Zillow and IOJO and ZBuyer and all these different sources. And we always were trying to track them, like how many leads from this source to conversion and what was the time frame and all these different numbers. And it got really complex because every lead's at a different stage and different things like that. But one thing we found out that when we started to work the time frame backwards, that first time interactions with a buyer customer, that was the furthest KPI we could go back. And that's the one that we wanted to track the most. Because we know that when we meet when we meet a buyer face to face, we know our ratio of how many that we convert into closings. So this kind of all came together for me about 12 months ago when I saw that number and I go, okay, well, that's the number we need to start tracking because we know the ratios overarching in the company. We know if we add SOI together, if we add Zillow, we add all these different sources, what that comes out to be, right? We know that if we have, let's say, 4 face-to-face appointments, first-time face-to-face appointments, we convert 1. Then that was backed up by the NAR. So the NAR puts together reports all the time, but in 2022 came out with a report that said 67% of buyers do business with the first agent they meet face to face. And then it went on to say, but if they've met with them more than once, if they met with them twice or more, there's an 80% likelihood of using that agent. Oh my God. Right? So, that's the name of the game. And Gary Keller, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Gary Keller right now in his book, Shift. He even talked about the number one priority of a real estate agent is to get face-to-face, belly-to-belly with a motivated buyer and seller every single day. And until that number one priority is achieved, nothing else matters. And that's absolutely a true statement. You've got to get belly-to-belly. You've got to get face-to-face. So let's stick with buyers for a moment, though. So once you start to uncover how many buyer clients that you want to close in the upcoming quarter, it tells you how many that you need to meet, or you do the math to figure out how many you need to meet in this quarter. So let me give you an example. If it is January, at the beginning of the year, everyone in January is always setting new goals and talking about how many closings they want to have and all this kind of stuff. And what they don't realize is all the work went in and was happening in the fourth quarter of the previous year, October, November, December, to produce January, February, March closings. You always got to look back a quarter because the NAR in their report as well said that the average buyer takes 10 weeks to find their home, to actually search for their home. 10 weeks. And if we add on a standard 30-day closing to that, now we're talking about 14 weeks from first-time interaction to cash flow. From first-time interaction to cash flow, 14 weeks. That's right over 3 months. So if you notice, all the buyers that I met at the beginning of October, those are the buyers closing in January. So that's why we need to be able to look ahead and go, okay, 90 days from now, how many clients do I want to close? How much cash flow do I want to have in my business? Let's say the number is 10. Okay, and for conversation's sake, we use an average of 5 customer interactions. I have to meet 5 buyers face-to-face at least one time to convert 1. Because assuming that the majority of your business is strangers, it's probably on the higher side, 5 to 1, 6 to 1. But if a majority business is SOI, it's probably 2 to 1. Whatever it is, look at what percentage of your business comes from SOI versus strangers and find a happy medium. You're going to have to predict. And if you have a question, if you actually have these numbers, Comment below and tell me your numbers and tell me the ratio that you're estimating, and I'll give you some feedback on it right here in the comment section. But let's say 4-1 for conversation's sake today. So 4-1, if you want to close 10 in the upcoming 90 days, then we got to go ahead and times that by 4. We got to meet 40 people face to face. So if I meet 40 people face to face in the next 90 days, the following 90 days, I'll get my 10 closings. So if you think about it, the work you're doing, if it were the beginning of the year in January, February, and March, if that's the work, all those appointments you're meeting face to face, those are closing in April, May, and in June. So you're always, the activity that you're doing today is always leading to sales 90 days from now. You always have to keep that in mind. So when we look at it from that regards, okay, I've got to meet 40 people face to face. That's exactly correct. You got to meet 40 people face to face. Divide that by 13 weeks, and that gives you your number, right? Between 3 and 4 first-time customer interactions. First-time customer interactions. And I'm telling you guys, if you think about that and you keep that as the number one focus in your business, things are going to change. Once you know that number, you have to then self-reflect and go, do I have the lead generation, right? Do I have the lead generation to be able to supply me with 4 first-time customer interactions every single week? So, hey, you don't have to take my word for it. The NAR has come out with these reports. They've come out with this data set, and they've said average buyer takes 10 weeks to find a house. And then from there, buyers do business with 67% of the time with the first agent they meet, and over 80% of the time when they've met that agent at least twice. You got to get face-to-face with motivated buyers. That's what you got to do. It's not even necessarily about the lead flow. The lead flow is a tool to get you face-to-face, but the number one priority that you have as a real estate salesperson is to get face-to-face with motivated buyers. So guys, I'll say this, I'm going to take this moment to plug my new mentorship program, my new online mentorship program. But if you don't have enough lead flow, or you don't have the tools and resources and maybe even skill set right now to convert enough business, to convert, if you need 4 a week, you're probably booking appointments with 6 to 7. So booking appointments with 6 buyers to lead you to 4 face-to-face appointments, which 90 days from now is going to lead you to sales. If you don't have that in place, or you're really confused, take me up on my free 30-day trial. Take my online mentorship program, Real Agent, for a test spin. The link is in the comment section below or in the description below. Take it for a test spin. You're going to have a link right there. It's free for 30 days. And if you want to stay after 30 days, great. It's $97 a month. If you don't worry about it. But guys, I give you a year-long mentorship in this. Every week, a new module pertaining to lead generation or lead conversion or AI. That's it. Like, this is the singular focus of this online mentorship program. And I even am live in there doing training and coaching calls with you guys once every 2 weeks to help you with any struggles that you have, plus our on-demand community. So I'm going to stop plugging that program right now, but it just seemed like it fit naturally as we're talking about face-to-face appointments, right? This is the name of the game. This is the name of the game. You've got to get face-to-face with people. And how do you do that? You've got to produce leads. Leads coming in, sifting and sorting the leads to find the motivated, you talking to them, booking appointments, meeting with them face-to-face. That's going to lead to sales 90 days from now. That's not going to lead to sales 30 days from now, 40 days from now, 50 days from now. That work would have had to be done months ago. Remember, people are buying a home, not a cell phone. That's why it takes 14 weeks on average from when they actually dip their toe in the water and start the search, like not behind the computer, but actively out there touring homes. It takes 10 weeks to find these guys the right home, plus a 4-week escrow or closing. Guys, 14 weeks. So if you're looking at your bank account right now, if you're looking at your closing board and thinking, oh, shiznaz, right? Like, oh crap, I've got to get my stuff in order. Now is the time. You can't wait weeks. Time is of the essence. Strike now. You've got to put things in place to actually transform your business. All right, that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys found this incredibly valuable. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll be coming to you live again with some updates on some lead generation funnels that we're building. And I can't wait to share some of them with you guys right here on our live. All right, that's it for me, Mr. Blake Corey. I am out of here, rock stars. I'll see you guys on the other side.